Do you love the recipes on A Taste of Paradise? I love them. Stay tuned to meet the hosts of Dare to Dream's innovative food and nutrition program. My name is Yvonne Lewis, and you're watching Urban Report. Hello and welcome to Urban Report. My guests today are Evita Tezeno and Nyse Collins, hosts of A Taste of Paradise. I talked to them recently while on their set. Take a look. So I have the opportunity to be on the set of A Taste of Paradise with the hosts, two of my favorite people, Evita Tezeno and Nyse Collins. Hey, Evita. Hey, Nyse. I'm doing fine, thank you. I'm so glad to have you both at the same time.
Yes.
Because I've interviewed you with Brenda that other time on the set, and Nyse on the set of Urban Report, but never the two of you together.
Yes.
So I'm so glad to have you all here. And I just have to tell you that you are both doing such a great job with The Taste of Paradise. I get calls and people want, well, what's the recipe for this? And, go to the website, you can get the recipe. So what is it that you're looking to do when you're doing A Taste of Paradise, when you're hosting? What are you trying to accomplish?
To make people realize that it is a joy to eat healthy. And it could be fun and it's flavorful. It doesn't have to be bland. And they could eat some of the similar dishes that they're used to, but it could be raw. And it's remarkable because, I've done tacos, I've done enchiladas, I've done lasagna, and all of it has been raw.
You're making me hungry right now. I know, it's so good. And a lot of people don't realize that you can do raw foods and it tastes good. You can make all these different recipes with raw foods and it really tastes good.
Exactly.
What about you, Nyse? What are you looking for?
Well, I got to cook it up a little bit.
Come on.
That's why we balance each other out. Since you kept us separate so much, but sometimes if you notice, I have to jump on Evita's show and sometimes Evita jumps on mine. But it's the whole purpose is just to encourage people to engage in a healthy lifestyle and show them that it's cool, it's fun, and it's tasty, as Evita mentioned here. A lot of times when people associate food and they think of food, it's either it's an addiction, it's bad for you or something like that, or it's totally healthy for you, but it doesn't taste good. And so what we're trying to do is, trying to get rid of that and find a middle ground where it tastes good, it doesn't have to be an addiction, and hey, if you have a second piece, it's not a problem because it's good for you, but then also to encourage them and educate them on what they're actually eating. A lot of times when we eat food, like if you're having a hamburger or something, it tastes good, but you're like, man, I'm gonna have to hit the gym again or something like that. But now when you make an oat burger or I don't know, unsausage or something that we made on the show, you can eat it and you say, man, that oat is actually good for my brain. So, man, it's good for that. And the nuts that is also there is gonna help, to lower my cholesterol or something of that nature. So now you're enjoying something that tastes good, but at the same time, it's good for you. So I don't usually say this. I hope you don't get in trouble or get me in trouble. I call it eating ecstasy a little bit. Now, not the drug or anything like that, because you're eating something good, and at the same time, it's good for you. So it's like you're in the clouds, you know what I mean, at the same time. And so we want food to be an enjoyable experience, but and also a healthy experience and something that people can start sharing with others. And that's the whole point for us, I believe, here at A Taste of Paradise. We don't want you to take this and keep it for yourself, but now take it and share it with other people. And so it's truly been a blast and so many seasons now that we're going. So I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
And I had a viewer that called me that was using some of my recipes at a gathering. And she had invited all these people over and she was making 3 of the recipes and she was so excited. So it's such a blessing. Yeah. And she was sharing it with friends.
Isn't that great? To share health with friends. That's such a blessing. That's such a great thing to do. One of the things that I love about what you guys do is you will take items that are like, familiar,
Yeah.
like the mac and cheese, nachos and cheese. I say cheese because
Right, right.
with the Z. And what's good is that you're not sacrificing taste. Viewers, you have to try these recipes. These recipes are phenomenal. I mean, okay, most people know my son Mark is not like a big soy person, tofu person, and I made the chicken.
The tasty
The
chicken.
tasty
yeah?
chicken.
Not chicken, but tasty
But the
chicken.
tasty
Oh,
chicken.
You remember that, huh?
And yeah, and so I said, why don't you just try a piece? And he said, no, that's okay. And I said, no, just try one. Well, after that, are you gonna make that tofu again? I'm like, okay. So, and that's what we want. We want to be able to take these recipes and use them and have people share them with others who don't eat well. And we can help them with their health. I mean, it's just great.
That's ultimately the message, yeah? God has given us something better in our lives, yeah? All right, the world shows one thing, and then he's gonna show us, all right, cool, you enjoy that or whatever, but watch this. I'm gonna still meet your desire, so I'm gonna give you something good that tastes better. It's gonna take a little effort now, making some of these recipes is not, you can't just put it in a microwave or anything. It's gonna take a little effort, but when you put in the effort, you're gonna be fulfilled. You're gonna be fulfilled most important, all right? So you'll be fulfilled in your taste buds, but at the end of the day, your mind relaxes because I did something good. I earned it, I worked for it, and it was an enjoyable experience. So ultimately, he's gonna give you something better than what you originally wanted. And so that's the good news, because we may eat those chicken nuggets and stuff like that, and we're wondering, man, what went into it or whatever. It did taste good, but at the same time, is it gonna help me? I'm feeling sad later, I'm tired and weak and stuff. So that's the ultimate goal. Ultimately, the true paradise in heaven, where we'll have all of the eating off of the tree of life and all of that good stuff.
We'll really be eating raw, right?
Oh man, you got me. But we are in a situation we're in, and that's funny, Evita, that sometimes when I travel, people are like, well, you should go raw too. I'm like, hello, I go raw. I was just showing you one or two recipes that we can cook as well. But ultimately, we know at the end of the day as well, sometimes God, well, it does show, God had actually cursed the ground for our own good, after the fall and the situations there. And so sometimes there are some foods that your body can't handle, a person in a debilitated state, they may need it to cook just a little bit there. So we're just finding that nice balance there.
That's the key word, balance. I believe in balance, which is why we have a Taste of Paradise, because the balance of the raw and the cooked, I think, is critical.
Yeah.
Because there's some people are purists, and they're like, okay, I'm only gonna do raw, or I'm only gonna do like 95% raw and 5% cooked. But I believe in the balance.
And that's what I tell the viewers when they call. They said, do you advocate 100% raw diet? I said, no, you need to have a balance. But I said it should be high raw, because that's where all the nutrients are, and it gives you that spunk, and it clears your mind. It's just a blessing.
And your skin, okay?
And
Look
your
at your skin. It's one of the things that you made that, it's just the crackers.
Yes.
But every time you guys come, I have to tell you, every time we do a Taste of Paradise, right, all of our crew is like so happy because we get to eat really good stuff. It's very healthy, but it also really tastes good. That eggplant jerky.
Yes.
Wow, that's some dangerous stuff.
It's some dangerous stuff.
Don't worry, I have a secret, how do I say, paparazzi photo of Evita eating something cooked, I got her. I'm gonna release it just in case she doesn't behave. But no. But it's all good. Yeah, definitely. You want to increase some of those items, and a lot of times, even on my segment, you'll see I'll use some salads or different items of that nature there. But it's crucial to find that balance. Of course, you want to lean a little bit more to the fresh foods and stuff. But if you do it right and enjoy it and stuff, no matter what, even they show people who don't eat the best food but are content and they enjoy life and they're satisfied. I mean, it literally starts in the mind, most importantly. And they're not in the best physical condition, but they're calm and the body can handle the stress. Because there's a lot of people who eat super healthy, but they're stressed out all the time. And their body is in a worse condition sometimes. So the key is find that balance, of course, always leaning and trusting in the Lord. And that's where the blessings will come. And then just follow the recipes, and, what Evita and myself.
And I think, like you said, it's a balance because Nyse and I both have some recipes are a little complex, but we have some that's simple and using simple ingredients. And there's so many food deserts around here that, you know, people don't have fresh fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
So they can get whatever they can in their hometown or in the store that's next to their community.
Work with what you
and
have.
they could work with what they have and use some of our ingredients.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
Because so many urban areas have poor produce.
Yes.
And I was reading something not too long ago that said that if your store, your local grocery store doesn't have good produce, go to the manager and tell him that you need better produce, because if you do that, then you can get them to move and you can get better produce in your neighborhoods. We have all kinds of candy stores, liquor stores, all those things in the hood, so to speak, but we don't have great stores for produce. So one of the things we can do as people on Dare to Dream is encourage people to go out to their stores and say, hey, we really need better produce.
Yeah, I mean, that's the focus is of trying to work with people where they're at. A lot of times when I go to different places, like I have actually like our series like
Hold it up, let's see it.
On DVD, as you see here. It's a Taste of Paradise, and people always say, yeah, I've seen the program like on those DVDs and stuff. The only problem I have is that when I hear cooking programs, they always use these weird ingredients and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, you don't have to worry about that. Evita, she's using just fresh. Like, how weird can you get with fresh items? She's only using that. And I'm just using 1 or 2 additional items, and I'm just adding a little heat to it. And so as a result, they're like, yeah, great, we want the whole series or something. Hey, you've seen this already. And so that's actually our focus, is to use simple things. We were in South Africa. They're like, can we do this? Because a lot of the products are only found in North America. We're like, nope. You have fruits, veggies, and nuts and grains. They're like, yeah, then you can do this. We're in Australia. We're in Asia. Everywhere we go, people can implement this program, you know, with maybe 1 or 2 specialty items. But Evita probably shows different ways that they can use something else if they don't have that, and I do the same as well. So that's the focus, is to make it very simple, easy, so we all can enjoy a Taste of Paradise.
And this is the season 1 where you have the collard greens, mac and cheese, chicken, right? I love it.
And we've been moving up the line on the seasons and stuff. So we have quite a bit available now that a lot of people will enjoy. So that's the good thing about it.
That is so awesome. We want people to know that these recipes are available and they're easy to do. It's not that hard. I mean, really, when you think it's just like you said a little while ago, it takes a little bit more time.
Yeah.
But it's not hard to put them together and make a really good meal and experiment. People can experiment. You said eat the rainbow.
Exactly.
All the different colors, you know, your salads are so beautiful and they're tasty.
Yes.
It's just, this is really the way to go.
One person said, you eat fast food, you live a fast life. You're here today, going tonight, literally. You don't have to wait till tomorrow. People are dying with heart attacks and strokes. You hear it all the time. What? Johnny's dead? Bobby's dead? And you're like, I just saw him. And people are dropping left and right. You eat fast food. But if you take the time and make some slow food, you know, it's going to take a little preparation. You'll live a longer, greater quality of life. And people are like, well, I'm going to die anyway. Yeah, you're right. You want to die fast, or you want to take your time and enjoy it. One person said, well, it only shows you can improve the quality of your life by 3 or 4 or 5 years. I'm like, yeah, no problem. Then just eat whatever you want. Not a lot of things happen in 3 or 5 years. I was like, what could possibly happen? Your grandchildren, you know, could come. Somebody could meet somebody and get married. How long does that take? That only takes, who knows? Some people meet each other in 2 or 3 months and they're already married and stuff. So, you know, if you cut off 5 years of your life, then, hey, then you didn't miss much, but actually you are missing a lot.
Absolutely.
The only thing is you need about 9 months for the baby or the grandchildren or something of that nature. So the key is take your time, make some good food. You'll enjoy life now and you'll enjoy it later as well. So.
Absolutely. How did you guys get involved with food? You know, like, and its properties and how it helps the body. How did you guys get him? How did you do it?
Well, several years ago, I was going to this church, and this couple came up, and they had just came back from Uchee Pines, and I was so inquisitive because I had eczema, I had allergies, and they said, I can show you how to get rid of that naturally. I said, what? And they brought me to their home, and they started cooking for me, and they said, you can do this too. So the next time they went to Uchee Pines, I went with them, and it changed my whole life.
Isn't
And this
that
was in the early 80s. Yeah, this was in the 80s.
Early 80s.
Well, the late 80s.
You were just a young little girl then.
No, I was
Early 80s. What?
She was only 10. That's awesome, though. So what you're doing now is basically what they did for you,
Exactly.
right? On a larger scale, because you're on television.
And
But
I'm on television, yeah.
that's tremendous.
But they took me in their home and they nurtured me, and they showed me simple ingredients. They made old burger patties for me and all these different things that I said, I've never seen this before. And I was so convicted, and I started to feel better just by eating the food that they cooked for me in their home. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do this. And I went cold turkey. Yeah, I went cold turkey on stop eating beef and the chicken and things like that. And then gradually I went to a total plant food diet.
That's tremendous. And that's another thing that I love about A Taste of Paradise, because if you are transitioning into, some people are like, what do I do? Where do I start? This also lets people know how to start transitioning into a healthier lifestyle. Because, a lot of times you say, okay, I want to do it, but what? How? What do I eat? And how do I make it? And can I fry? Can I deep fry? Or, you guys just help with that. How did you start, Nyse?
I can't put a specific finger on it, like this is the time or whatever. I always dreamed of those moments that I could have like a Evita experience. Like this. For me, it was a little different. I was more of a knucklehead or whatever like that. I learned slowly but surely along the way, just little things. I used to play football, and I found when I ate a healthier diet, I was like vegetarian during football season, and I'll be able to run faster, and I'll have more endurance and stuff like that. And I was like, cool. So then after football season, I ate any and everything that moved, like I'll just bite into Evita with some chocolate, some hot sauce or something like that. But then one off season, I waited and I didn't eat any like other foods, and I just kept the diet healthy. And then when I went back to train and practice again, I was bouncing, which is normally the hardest time when you stop playing and then you start again. And then my mom, she had breast cancer, but by the time they found it, it had spread throughout the body. So you know what they did? They just went ahead and they just cut off that part there. And then a doctor who is not an Adventist doctor, he said, hey, maybe if you go home, that was back in the days when they used to give you time to live. He's like, I give you about 2 months to live or whatever, because it's already metastasized. And he's like, go home and just stay away from free radicals. We were like, what are you talking about? He's like, milk, eggs, cheese, fish, any animal products, because this is the cancer cells, free radicals. And we was like, what? Is this man crazy? My mom is from Trinidad. My dad is from Italy. Like, in our family, if anything moved, we throw either Italians, we throw tomato paste on you or something, like tomato sauce. From Trinidad, we throw curry on you. So it got so bad in our house one time, we made like curry lasagna. Did you get that right?
You went to curry and
I know y'all probably thinking that, what in the world is that? But it tastes good. Maybe we should try to make that one. But we ate everything. But what happened is Mom went home. She prayed most importantly, because the healing doesn't come from food. It comes from God.
Yes.
He just blesses our efforts when we live the lifestyle. We prayed, and you know what happened? Mom is alive like 20-something years later.
Wow.
Praise God.
And it was hard, but then she threw everything out of the kitchen, and we were like, what are we gonna eat? You're sick, not us. And
without realizing that you were eating the things that made her
because
sick.
my mom was like, do you love me? We was like, yes. She was like, then help me. So what did I start doing from a young age? I started to cook and roll all this bread, roti and bread and all of these things. And I just started to learn to eat healthy food from that age.
Mm-hmm. Look at God and the plan that He had. He extended your mom's life and gave you a career path, a ministry that has blessed thousands of people. You know, I mean, God is so good. And what you guys are doing is such a blessing to so many people. What are the projects that you're involved in right now?
I'm working on my first cookbook.
Oh,
Well, it's really an uncooked book.
okay.
It is totally plant-based, totally raw, and it's called Living Life Fresh.
I knew she would slip sooner or later.
And do a book?
Yeah, but you heard her. A cookbook, well, uncooked book. But that's good. Living life fresh, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so people will be able to find it everywhere.
Yes, I have a website. It's called livinglifefresh.com. And you can pre-order it on the website.
That's awesome. And this program will probably air several times.
Yes.
And so people should just go to your website because
Yes.
who knows, it'll probably be out by the time the program is
Exactly.
on. So just go to the website, Living Life Fresh, and they can order the cookbook.
Yeah,
The uncooked
book.
The uncooked book. See, I did it
You
too.
slip in too there.
My bad, my
Don't worry,
bad.
y'all gonna come over soon.
My bad. What about you, Nyse? What are you doing?
Well, we're working on quite a few things with SanareLife. We do several programs at different churches. It's called the WOW series. You heard of WOW series?
Wow, what is
WOW, W-O-W. It's a week of wellness. Week of wellness is a weekend program or a week program. And what we do is we come in, we work with individuals. I'll let you take a quick look. We work with individuals. Sometimes we do screenings as well. And one gentleman, like in New York, his blood sugars were 444.
Wow.
Literally.
That's a wow.
Watch this.
Yeah.
And he followed the program, and in 1 week, when we tested him again, because we have doctors and nurses that come and assist us, when we tested him again, his numbers had dropped down to 126. No medication. We encourage him to follow along with doctor's instructions, let your doctor know what you're doing. You're participating in the WOW series, a week of wellness, and it went from 444 to 126 in 1 week.
Wow.
Yeah, there it is. We got it. There it is. That's the WOW series. So we go to different churches, we go to businesses, we go to schools, and we host these programs there. Myself or the different consultants on the team. Hint, hint. And a lot of people enjoy it because our focus is not to tell you what to do, but to encourage you. Find out where you're at right now and help you make the transition. You know, and work with people a step at a time. Like I literally got in trouble in one church. They was like, oh, the people here eat meat. And I was like, what's the problem? They was like, tell them to be vegan and vegetarian. I said, where does it say that you have to be vegan and vegetarian? So I went to the church and I did a program. I was like, if you enjoy chicken, no problem. Just do it the way the Lord instructed. And the pastor was like, no, Nyse, get down. And I was like, wait a second. What did the Bible say? You can have it, just remove the what? The blood and the fat. And make sure that you grow your own chicken that doesn't have all of the estrogen and the hormones added to it and stuff like that. And then what you want to do is you want to kill it properly. You don't want to fry it. You want to broil it. And you want to do this and you want to do that. And the people at the end of the program, they was like, man, eating meat is just too complicated. How do you make that lentil patty again? But we're showing people we're going to meet you where you're at and then make that transition. Not everybody can do it. I'm not as strong as Evita, you know, with the cold turkey. Like when I made the transition, I went from beef to chicken to fish to cheese to milk, and then I finally made it. And sometimes I smell the other stuff and I'm like, I remember those days. But now I just eat Evita's food and I'm good. So that's one of the things. But another thing is that even though we work with adults and stuff, we realize that sometimes people don't want to make the change, and that's fine. We said, let's gear our approach now and let's start working with children.
I love
Because the
it.
children, they're more receptive to learn. They're not set in their ways and stuff like that. So we developed one other resource, and it's called Kidlicious.
Oh, I love
Kidlicious. This
it.
is one of our
I want you to do a program on Dare to Dream for children. I think that's
For the
so
kids.
important. You have to be able to reach children and teach them, teach them how to eat properly.
Yeah, because like Evita, you do in-home cooking demonstrations, consultations. A matter of fact, we were like in Canada at the same time. She was working with some clients, and I was working with some as well. And we're spending all of this time. When we're done with them, a whole nother generation has come up, and they're making the same mistakes. And so let's educate them while they're young. And so that's
I love it.
that's that one there.
I love it. I love it. Maybe Evita will come in and help you do some raw stuff with kids.
There it is. You know, it's a tag team. A matter of fact, I found out I was just adopted,
Ah, really?
Evita has just adopted me as her younger brother.
I love
Now
it.
she's going to try to beat up on me. Please pray. Send your letters in and tell her not to.
That's tremendous. You guys are doing such a great work for the Lord. What do you want our viewers to know in closing? We have about 30 seconds apiece. What do you want our viewers to know?
That it's easy to eat healthy. It's not hard. Don't let it be a drudgery, but just use all the bountiful fruits and vegetables that the Lord gave you.
Yes, that's great.
Yeah, and it says it there perfectly. Whatever you eat, whatever you drink, whatever you do it for the glory of God. That's like the best key there. And enjoy and live life fresh. Have us come out to your church or something like that.
Yeah.
And we'll assist you where possible.
Do all to the glory of God. Yeah. That is the bottom line.
Yeah.
And so I thank you guys. I thank you for your ministry and what you're doing, because what you're doing is so critical. It's such a critical piece for us and for everybody, because we want to be healthier. We want to live better. We want to feel better. And you guys are giving the tools to people to do that. So thank you. Love you so much, and keep it up. Your website again?
Living Life Fresh.
Your website? SanareLife.com.
SanareLife.com. You guys have it. Go to the websites, order the resources, and remember to do what?
Live life fresh.
I just loved talking to Nyse and Evita. They have such a passion for what they're doing. It's a calling and a ministry. Have you found your calling? If not, seek God and ask Him to reveal His will to you. He's got something special just for you. You know, the Bible says, "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in Him." And so we can find out from God what is His will for us. What is that calling, that special calling that is on our lives? And then we can answer that calling and go forth in the power and anointing of the Holy Spirit. I think about my life and what God has done and how I ended up here at 3ABN and at Dare to Dream. And I know that it was God who gave me this ministry. And He has a ministry just for you, a calling just for you, an anointing just for you. So hold on. Don't be discouraged. Don't give up. Know that that special plan is right there for you. Ask Him. Pray, and get someone to pray with you and ask them to support you in seeking God. Well, that's our program for today. We hope that you were blessed. We hope that you're going to try these recipes. They are scrumptious, they are healthy, they are good for you, and they're fun to make. Tune in next time. It just wouldn't be the same without you.